Hey everybody, I'm RandomBystanderHere, and you probably know that I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan. Heck, I've made 3 videos about the series, and I stream New Horizons on my Twitch channel all the time, which you can follow me in the link in the description below for that. But one thing you may not know about me is that I am a huge Amiibo collector. At least back in the beginning, anyway. Back in 2015 especially, I was obsessed with Amiibo, and I would do whatever I could to get all the figures that Nintendo released. There was even a point where I waited online from 4 AM to 10 AM at GameStop so I would be sure to get the NES Amiibo. That's how obsessed and how much I really loved Amiibo back then. So you would think combining my 2 favorite things, Animal Crossing and Amiibo, put together would make something really great. Something that I would really enjoy. But unfortunately, we got this trash. It's been a long time coming, Amiibo Festival. But today, we're gonna get into why I hate you. We reached over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I promised that once we did, we would talk about my least favorite game in all of the Animal Crossing universe. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. This game is the black sheep of Animal Crossing, and that's an insult to Muffy. People despise this game, and for good reason. But before we begin our review, let me take you back to a time of ruin and despair. The Wii U era! E3 2015, Nintendo's big console, the Wii U, was already declining, but their hot new thing was Amiibo, little toys-to-life figurines which could interact with certain games. Hopefully you know what they are. On this particular E3, the hopes of Nintendo fans would be crushed, like a walnut in a ballet recital. We were lulled to a false sense of security by puppets in Star Fox Zero, and Metroid Prime Federation Force sent fans in a frenzy. But despite those downs, no one of the Animal Crossing community knew what we had in the horizon. We saw the Ysabel Amiibo and oh my goodness, it's an Animal Crossing game in HD! It's what we wanted all along! They even have cute little figurines to go with it! It's a board game. It's a spin-off. It's not an actual game. It's Animal Crossing Party with Amiibo. It's nothing but a cash grab. Animal Crossing fans were outraged, they complained on Reddit, they hit the dislike button. But in all seriousness, it was a disappointment to Animal Crossing fans. Fans who wanted a console version of the game. We wanted a village simulation experience, and we got sorry with even more plastic. It just feels like a giant cash grab. I mean, when the game first came out, it was retailed at $60. And how much can you get it for now? I've seen it go as low as $4. $4! That's why I've always had a grudge against this game. I paid full price for it, only to see it drastically reduced within a few months. It may sound petty, but I could have used that money for a real game. And from what I saw from the gameplay footage, it wasn't even worth that much to begin with. I was so angry that I never even gave the game a chance. But today is the day where I finally put Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival in its place. But before we do that, let's talk about the Amiibo themselves. Along with Amiibo Festival, Animal Crossing Amiibo launched in 2 waves, and I'd be lying if they weren't pretty cool. They are detailed and represent the characters well. With the game, you had Ysabel and Digby, but you could also have other choices of characters. You have ones you expect like KK Slider, Tom Nook, Timmy and Tommy, Captain, Rover, and Lottie, who was only in Happy Home Designer. Why? You could have added so many different characters to become Amiibo. Pelly and Phyllis, Tortimer, even Lyle. I don't even think her Amiibo can do anything in New Horizons. Can it? Nope. It is nice that these cards and figurines can still be used in New Horizons. But honestly, who uses these for the games anyway? I just hang them up on my shelf. I spent so much money on these. I'm finally gonna do it. I'm gonna open this thing. I've actually kept it in the plastic for as long as I can remember. I never actually opened it or played it. Until now. Come on. It doesn't want to open. Ah, here we go. Here we are. It's finally open. After all these years. I mean, it's not like it can be anything really bad, right? After all this time, here it is. Amiibo Festival. The game gets straight to the point. You see a title screen, but immediately you're in the game, and it wants you to put in an amiibo. Oh, forgot to mention, amiibos are required to play this game. Want to play with anyone besides Digby or Ysabel? I guess you gotta cough up some extra cash. Thankfully, I have most of the Animal Crossing amiibo, with just the spring Ysabel missing, so I have no problem unlocking them. I decided to pick Ysabel because Queen, Blathers because he's my favorite character, Tom Nook because he probably would sue me if I didn't, and Lottie because God, I have to justify buying this figurine for a character everyone forgot about somehow. Here's how the game works. You enter a Mario Party style board where you roll the dice and try to get as many happy points and bells as you can. If you land on happy spaces, a cutscene will happen that will increase your happy points. Land on a sad space to get a sad event. Land on a money space to gain or lose money. Each turn represents a day in the month, and once the month ends, or you hit your time limit, the game ends, and whoever has the most happy points wins. Happiness is the most important thing in life. Yay! So one thing you'll notice is the fact that buttons are completely outlawed in this game. To start your turn, you have to take the amiibo, place it on the Wii U gamepad, lift it off, and then your dice will roll. Rinse and repeat every time you and your fellow players take your turn. This is incredibly tedious and unnecessary. Did they not have an easier way to do this?
All right, they did. Push, push. A button.
I get it. It's called Amiibo Festival. You spend a lot on these amiibo, and you want to feel justified with your purchase. But it just seems like a hassle to place and pick up, when on other games all it takes is a half-second press. Nintendo went through a weird phase in the Wii and Wii U era, where they tried to use motion controls and other unique mechanics for simple tasks, and it usually felt forced. Amiibo Festival was no exception. It's still functional, but it's mediocre, and it just felt like an excuse.
Okay, so it has Nintendo Wii U and motion control quirks, but how does the game itself go?
Like I said, you have the happy and sad spaces. You have little cutscenes in between, and honestly, they are pretty cute. You get to see your choice of character interact with various characters and accomplish little tasks. These short cutscenes hold the charm you expect in Animal Crossing. You also have visitor spaces, where a visitor such as Red, Katrina, Phineas, Dr. Shrunk, and more will stop by occasionally. When you land on their spaces, you get a cutscene and then interact with the gamepad to get a card, which can increase your dice roll, change the board, and more. There's also turnip prices, another key aspect of the game. Ah, Joan, it's been a long time. It was this game that brought you into retirement, wasn't it? Joan will pop in every Sunday and offer the player turnips, like in the game. Once you buy turnips, you have to sell them within 7 days, and turnip prices will show in the board. Of course, the prices aren't a guarantee. One turn, the prices are steady, and the next, oh god, it crashed! The stock market is done for! Everybody run! So yeah, just like the game, it's a little bit of a gamble.
So you're probably thinking, hey, this game sounds decent on paper. Why is it so despised? While it does sound like a fantastic Animal Crossing game, Amiibo Festival suffers from one huge flaw. It's so boring!
First off, the pacing in this game is god-awful. You are going to want to add a time limit, or else it will go on forever, especially with 4 players. Not only that, the cutscenes that play in between each turn get old really quickly, as they are only there for happy points. Not only that, but every time a player encounters a visitor space, another short segment plays that is unskippable. Oh my god, 3 out of 4 players have landed on Dr. Shrunk's space. I swear, if it happens again. Oh, come on! It just drags! Sure, it was probably worse for me since I was manually putting in all these amiibos each and every time, but I can't imagine it being any more fun with other people. And again, I feel I need to emphasize, this wouldn't be so bad if you could just hit the button to start your turn! With Mario Party, it was basically the same, but it had minigames to break up the monotony, and other fun activities to change things up. This one is just difficult to finish. There are some events like the fishing tourney and bug off to add variety, but it's not nearly enough. Side note, in the game I played, Blathers won the bug off, and that's just hilarious to me. Once the game ends, whether that's from the calendar or timer, you see how many happy points you have total. But I hope you saved your bells, because every 1,000 bells you earn gets you 1 happiness point. In Amiibo Festival, money can buy you happiness, or at least a cheap knockoff of it, and then the game just ends. No fanfare, no cutscene, game just
ends.
Who cares? Now let's just see what the rest of the game has to offer. Why can't I move? Why can't I select anything else? Don't tell me I have to play another game!
Yup! If you want to play the rest of the game, you have to do the board game at least twice.
Curse you, Amiibo Festival!
Finally, I can access the menu! Kind of. You have access to some of the minigames, but you have to unlock them with happy tickets, and you can only get happy tickets from happy points, which means you gotta keep playing, and if you're a masochist like me, you keep playing. Each game requires the use of Amiibo cards. Yes, the cards where you can get specific villagers to move into your town for New Horizons, they are required for this game. While cards were a lot easier to play back in the day, if you didn't have any back in 2015 and want cards for anyone that isn't Stitches, Rosie, or Goldie, you gotta spend some more of that green. And I'm not talking about Leaf Swedes. Okay, so these mini-games. You have Balloon Island, where you have to lay an Amiibo card on the gamepad and align it with the balloons. Then let go of the Amiibo card in order to see how many balloons you can hit. It's kind of luck-based. Card battle. Each player brings in an Amiibo card, and the cards have to face off each other. Whichever has the highest roll wins. Rossetti Bop. Basically, whack a Rossetti with a mallet, but instead of hitting a button, you use a card. Notice a pattern here? A lot of these mini-games feel clunky, awkward, and most importantly, not fun. They really force the use of the card as much as they can without trying to feel organic. These would probably be decent if they were simplified more, or if they just pushed the button. Not to say the card integration isn't all bad. If you have cards of your favorite villagers, you could put them in the games, and in the main board as well. It's a nice little feature, if you have more than just the 3 Amiibo cards the game came with. This is one of my biggest problems with Amiibo Festival. If you bought this at retail price, you already spent a lot. With the figurines and cards, you are spending almost as much as the Wii U console. This game is not a system seller. Back then, there were so many other great Wii U games that you could have bought. This is just a catch grab with no ending value. It's just dull.
The board game is redundant, and all these mini-games are sloppy and monotonous. Except for one.
Desert Island Escape, the saving grace of this game, where you choose to play 3 different islanders and have a certain amount of days to escape from the island. This is the best and most developed minigame by far. 3 villagers are stuck on a deserted island, and they must explore the island together in order to craft tools, find food, and build a raft to hopefully escape the island before your counter runs out. Each type of animal has specific abilities, like chickens having an enhanced sense of smell, rabbits being able to sleep for extra turns, cats knowing how to track and catch fish without a rod. It's surprisingly strategic. While you don't expect something like this in Animal Crossing, it's so addictive to play through and see what combination of villagers can do. Even without extra Amiibo cards, the game offers a decent level of challenge. Plus, it's kind of obvious now that the minigame probably inspired the crafting system in New Horizons. I see what you did there, Nintendo.
It may be one thing and I found it near the end of the video, but I found at least one redeeming thing about Amiibo Festival. Oh, it's Mr. Bad News. He usually has some great stuff to say. Hello, Random Bystander here speaking. What was that? You can get the game completely free in New Leaf by finding an item? And you don't even need Amiibo cards, you just need play coins? Excuse me one moment. I hate Amiibo Festival!
Why would anyone buy this game? The main board game is dull, drags on far too long, and relies way too much on the Amiibo gimmick. It still has some of the classic Animal Crossing charm, but that alone can't save the game or even make it worth the purchase. The game might be fun with friends, but I can't see people enjoying it for more than one game before wanting to move on to something else. The minigames are either boring or difficult to play, with the over-reliance on Amiibo cards over pressing a button. The only game worth playing in Amiibo Festival, Desert Island Escape, is available to play in a game much more worth your time. I think this game is worthless. It's the forgotten, overgrown weed of Animal Crossing, and I am still mad that I paid full price for this ungodly trash. I'd rather be chased by an army of tarantulas and scorpions. I'd rather buy a boat full of fake paintings. I'd rather talk to Orville and be in a time loop where he keeps asking me questions, confirming if I want to go to someone's island, than ever play Amiibo Festival again!
I'm Random Bystander here, and we will never speak of this again. Hey everybody, I'm Random Bystander here, and thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I hope you really enjoyed this one. This was to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, which is still incredibly miraculous. I can't thank you guys enough. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope it made you laugh, and I hope if you decide to, you enjoy all the other videos on the channel as well. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and heck, even subscribe if you want. It really does help out the channel, and it really means a lot to me. As I've said, I made a bunch of videos on Animal Crossing, I've made a bunch of Nintendo-related videos, and I hope you enjoy them. I usually post my streaming schedule on my Twitter, which you can follow both Twitter and Twitch, along with Instagram and TikTok, in the links in the description below. Thank you again so much. It really feels weird to be done with this episode, since it was one I was really hyping up. I wonder what other milestones I'm gonna do. Maybe for 2,000 or 5,000 subscribers? It seems like a long way away, but who knows? I don't know. Instead of a game like Amiibo Festival where it was something I really hated, maybe around 5,000 I'll talk about a video game that I really love. As for what that game is though, I guess we'll leave it up to fate and destiny. I'm Random Bystander here, and have a good night.